The duels, there's 26 teams and only 4 qualify. So you have to be one of 4. So technically, if you have a loss or 2 on your schedule, regular schedule, you're not going to make the duels. So we were undefeated and we were only the 2nd seed. We weren't even the top seed and we hadn't lost any matches. 4 teams make it. Glen Elg's the 1st seed, we're the 2nd seed, Old Mill's the 3rd seed, and Broadneck makes the 4th seed. 1 and 4 face each other, 2 and 3 face each other in the first round. Then the winners then wrestle afterwards to see who goes on to the state tournament. So we face Old Mill, and our history with Old Mill is, well, first of all, Old Mill's probably the winningest public school in wrestling. They've won more state titles, dual meet-wise, individual state titles, and they have the most individual state champions. So it's a really historic program in Maryland. And us personally have faced them the last 3 years in the duels. And we knew the match was going to be very tight coming out. We had a couple matches we thought we'd win. We had a couple matches they probably thought they'd win. And then there's what we call in wrestling the swing matches. So we start with our freshman Brent Lauren at 106, and he's really been, I wouldn't say surprised that he's doing well, but maybe as the surprise is how well he's doing. So he is undefeated on the season. So he started us off with a pin on the night, so that really was crucial to set the tone, and we, not to be in a hole. And where they're really good, we're the next handful of weight classes, so it kept us from really being in a hole. So Brent started us off with a very quick pin, and it was just a good 6 points that gets us on the board. What pins are, they're called, in wrestling it's bonus points. So if you win, you get 3 points, regular decision. So the better you beat somebody, the more points you get. So in these dual meet things, we always say we want to earn bonus points and we don't want to give up bonus points. So what that means is if we can get wins by pins or technical falls or major decisions, we'll get more points. And when we lose matches, we save points if we don't get picked. So sometimes you win matches because you have guys that just don't get picked. So it's a little bit different dynamic because the focus is just the team moving to the next round.
Way more team and less individual.
It's 100% team. So after Brent wrestles, we get to the meat of their lineup, and there was a swing match at 132 where we thought we had a little bit of an advantage, and their wrestler actually won a decision over Tyler Ham. And a couple of our young freshmen actually lost decision matches, which saved us points, but really when we get to Liam, was a very evenly contested match on paper, and we figured that was one of the matches that we need to win to even have a shot to win. If we were to lose that, we would really have been in a hole. So Liam wrestled a really great strategic match, and he scored an escape, and he was able to hold his opponent down the whole last period, and he won 1-0. And what made that important is we won the swing match, but it gets into our strength, and we got on a little bit of a roll, winning the next couple matches. So it's a momentum swing.
So then we get to 195. Going into that match, you're down by 8.
Right, so we get to the last handful of matches, and 2 areas where our team can make some moves are at 182 and 220. So we weigh in 2 wrestlers at 182, and we decide if one's going to go 182 or 195 depending on our opponents, and we do the same at 220. And so between 182 and 195, what we needed to do is get 1 win there. The strategy there was, our best wrestler was Tom Gomez, and we put him up a weight class against a guy we thought he could beat by a bigger score. So at this time we needed to get more points. So Tom did that. He bumped up and beat the 195 pounder by a major, and so that got us an additional bonus point. And then when we after Tommy's match, we have a senior at 220 and we have a freshman at 220, and so they have 2 pretty decent guys up at heavyweight. And at this situation, we needed to win them both. So for us to win, we had to win them both, and where we put our younger guy against their younger guy, and they're pretty even, and Jack Brink pulled out that win. And really, we put Dakota up against their better guy. Dakota only weighs 215, and their heavyweight weighed 270, so he was giving up 55 pounds or so. And it just came down that we were, the score was 29-28 going into the last match. Whoever wins that match is going to win the match. And so for Dakota, if he were to win, it would have earned him his 100th victory. So, and then we beat perennial powered Old Mill, and so it was all things that are very memorable.
It's like the perfect storm.
Yeah, just a perfect kind of Hollywood kind of scripted way for a sports situation to end. So it all worked. Like in wrestling, you can make these moves and they could backfire. If Jack were to have lost at 220, then it wouldn't have mattered because we would have been down by too many points for Dakota even to catch up. It's more strategic than you think. Like, it's not just like, you think of wrestling maybe like boxing, like two people just go at it and then it's over. There's really a little bit more strategy to the dual meet situation, and you weigh people in and where you weigh them in and how you can bump them up, and the coin flip decides who has to report to the mat first, and that's a strategy because if they're forced to send somebody out, I can wait and then send who I want out. So it makes a difference. So there's more strategy than the average kind of follower knows. We enjoy it. One, it's really it's an honor to get there, and sometimes that gets overlooked. To just be one of the top 4 teams out of 26 teams, that's hard to do. But it's a different kind of strategy coaching-wise, so it really gets fun to see if the moves you make pay off. And so in this match, our moves paid off, and it makes me look like I'm a genius when that's not really that true. It really is the wrestlers did a great job, and that's why in this individual sport of wrestling, this regional duels and regional states is really the ultimate team portion of it, and everybody's win and loss made a difference in our scores.